You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White sports fans? John Matrix here, and I am back with another video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, check out the join button for channel memberships and check out the merch. And when you get your merch, make sure you use the discount code Gina Rotz, all one word, and we're going to give you 15% off your purchase votes. Let's get into this. Guys, we're going to be talking about Stephen A. Smith, also known as Stephen Anthony Smith of ESPN's First Take. He has been a lifelong New York Knicks fan. And once upon a time, boys and girls, for the younger people out there, the Knicks, they didn't suck. They actually won 2 championships back in the 1970s, and they drafted Patrick Ewing in the 1980s, and they were really, really good in the 80s and 90s. And then Patrick Ewing's last season, 1999-2000 season, guys, the Knicks have struggled. They have struggled minorly, okay? They essentially have become the LA Clippers. Remember the Clippers used to be really, really bad for a long, long time? Yeah, that's the Knicks now, okay? Ever since the year 2000, guys, the New York Knicks have had 3 winning seasons. That's it. Just 3. And like the last, I believe, like 7 years, they have really been a disaster, folks. But now, guys, guess what? The Knicks are actually 500. They're not horrible. They're not really good. Maybe the future is bright. I don't know, man. But I guess when you're a Knicks fan, if you watch this franchise suffer for so long under the leadership of Dolan, I guess if you're Stephen A. Smith, man, it will bring you to tears, guys, because that is what happened today. Stephen A. Smith was actually crying that the Knicks are not horrible, guys. I'm not making this up. We're going to check this out, and I'm going to let you see for yourself. It says here, Stephen A. Smith tweets, Stephen A. Smith starts weeping on live television talking about the Knicks. And guys, if you've been paying attention to Stephen A. Smith over the years, man, he has been extremely hard on the Knicks because they have been that terrible. It says it's been quite the surprising year so far for the New York Knicks in the first year under the Tom Thibodeau era. The Knicks are a surprising 20-20 and currently 7th place in the Eastern Conference. For a point of reference, the Knicks' total over-under for wins this year was set at 23.5 by the odds makers. They showed so much promise last night to Stephen A. Smith that he got emotional on ESPN's First Take. And last night, guys, because I know nobody's watching the NBA, they lost to the Nets, but they only lost by 4. And the Nets actually may be the best team in the Eastern Conference. And guys, we have the clip of Stephen A. Smith here getting emotional and crying. Let's check it out, guys.
I was very, very happy last night, despite the fact that they lost the game. There were so many elements in this game that made me... Hold on, where's my tissue? I'm getting emotional right now. I mean, it was so special. First of all, Max, they were down 18. I got it. Thank you so much, but I got my one. But I need both because it's an emotional moment.
You see that, guys? He's really, really crying. At first, I thought he was joking, man, but then somebody else actually brought him tissue. He is really crying, man, because the Knicks aren't horrible. They're not good. I mean, it's possible, they can actually lose out, and then he'll be back to being, I guess, Stephen A. Smith, complaining about the Knicks again. But anyway, let's check it out more.
Me right now, don't interrupt me right here. My Knicks. First of all, Max, they were down 18, but they scratched and they called the number 1 defense in the NBA. Number 1 is the New York Knicks. Now, I understand they're only scoring 105.3 points a game, okay? That ranks like 28th. But they're surrendering the exact same amount of points, which is number 1. This defense is scrappy. I saw Spike Lee there. It reminded me of the days when the Knicks were relevant and Spike Lee was there cheering them on. Come on, let's go. It was a beautiful thing to see. I saw my man Worldwide West, William Wesley, behind the Knicks bench going bananas when a foul was called against Frank Ntilikina. He didn't like that. He was very, very upset about that. We know Thibodeau is feisty, okay? And then to see Julius Randle, although he did travel, and I believe it was the right call, for him to have attitude, for him to be restrained, for him to have to be held back. Even Wes and the rest of his crew was trying to hold him back. Why, Max? Why? Because they had a chance. They're fighting. They're scrapping.
Wow, guys, there you have it, man. Stephen A. Smith brought the tears over the New York Knicks not stinking up the joint. That's still not good. And by the way, guys, they lost the game. He didn't cry when they were winning the game. He cried that they lost the game in tears of joy, man. This is funny, man. I mean, none of my teams that I actually root for have ever been as horrible as the Knicks have been the last 20 years. Now, people make fun of the Cowboys because they actually haven't won a Super Bowl since 1996. But the Cowboys haven't been nearly as bad as the Knicks. Not even close, you know, and Stephen A. Smith, he's always making fun of the Cowboys. At least the Cowboys have won division championships, you know. They won a few playoff games. They haven't been like, they haven't had like a 28% winning percentage like the Knicks. But guys, what do you think of this? Do you think this was kind of an overreaction from Stephen A. Smith, man? But I thought it was so funny, you know, that this guy is crying over the Knicks because they're 20-20, guys. Actually, they were 21-20. I'm sorry. Actually, they were 20-19, and then they lost to the Nets, and now they fell to 500. They actually had a winning record before last night's game. This is funny, guys. Stephen A. Smith brought the tears. A James Dolan team being 500 brought him to tears. A weak moment by Stephen A. Smith, man. A weak moment. It was funny, though. But he wasn't joking, man. He was actually really crying tears because he is that much of a Knicks fan, and they don't suck. This team is nowhere close to being a championship team. They're 7th in the East. I don't know if they're going to hold on to make the playoffs. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, man, he may start running around the first take set and really crying if this team makes the playoffs, man. Knicks fans are something else. They are really, really something else, guys. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.